Okay, so announcement time. So I don't know how many of you have been like watching the hotfix shows or other things recently. So you may have seen a little bit of a change on some of the display things. If you've been watching those, if you haven't, the too long didn't watch is I'm a girl and I'm going to be using she/her pronouns from here on out. And even though this has been out on the open for a number of weeks, I haven't really talked about it here, and it's still hard to talk about. Turns out, so that's the TLDR. So yeah, that's the big thing, and it's hard hard to talk about. Never expected to feel this way, so yeah. Oh, so just give me a minute. Oh, oh. Yeah, so gosh, I like lost my voice. But so when I started doing the whole VTuber thing, I think a lot of people probably saw this coming, or were like, ah, I'm surprised it took this long, or something like that. But I don't think people realized how long this has been something I've been hiding from people. So if you know me, it's like going back to like the earliest people I've met, like Tank or 520, etc., etc. I've been hiding it since before I met you, over 10 years. So I've been trying to just go on putting on a charade, just because I wasn't ready to talk about things and all that. So I just need a minute. Oh, why is it so hard? I expected to just talk. Didn't expect all this. So, uh, 2 years. Like I even had this public for like several weeks, and actually just talking about it on stream is so hard. So this goes back to when I was 12. So 12 is that age, where stuff starts to happen. And this is something I have felt strongly about since then. It's like, this is not new. This is not with like the VTuber stuff in the last 6 months. Like, it's been a long, long, long thing that's always been there. That I've always been hiding. So at 12, that's when like your voice starts changing. I was pretty sad that it started happening. That's when you start going through growth spurts and all that. It sucked. Hated it. Every bit of it. Couldn't stand it. I wouldn't talk to people because I didn't want people to hear my voice. Because, at the time, I didn't know what it meant because, education on this kind of thing is pretty poor. But it definitely hit me. I was really sad and didn't know what to do. I just assumed it was like, oh, I don't want to grow up. No. And those were signs of growing up. That wasn't the case. It was just gender dysphoria. Really bad. And I kind of just had to deal with it, suck it up, because I didn't know anything, about trans people or anything that it was a thing at that time. The thing like from my family and everything is that they're freaks. They are not normal, all that kind of thing. So you don't want to be a freak. So it's something else. But even as a little kid, I was always doing stuff, and you know I don't want to put in gender role things, but I do stuff more in common with like a female gender role. I was into sewing and like a stereotypical gender role. I did like cross stitch stuff all the time. My friends made fun of me for it, but I really like sewing and all that stuff, and that should be fine. Like a guy should be able to do that and not feel ashamed of it. It should just be normal. Like girls should be able to play with whatever toys, boys should be able to play with whatever toys. That should not be a thing. And I think just because that's something you do doesn't mean you should say, oh, this person's obviously trans because they're playing with toys of stereotypically assigned like the opposite gender. Okay, so that wasn't it. But I've always been like that. So my entire life. And the worst bit I had was around that same period, 12 or 13, my parents got me some shirts for my birthday once. I don't know what the actual name of the shirt is, but it's like the way I've always heard it called is the wife beater shirt. It's like a tank top, tight-fitting white tank top that you put on that has kind of like a muscle shirt, like think like Bruce Willis. Yeah, it's a white tank top type of thing, or a rib tank top. Yeah, so they got me those. It's like, hey, men wear this, you should wear this. So we bought this, so you wear it. And I put one of those on once, only once, and I cannot describe how awful it felt. Just seeing me wearing that, like it was impressive, like just how bad it was. So I never wore them again because when I was growing up, I was always afraid, like I never wanted to be like muscular, like I didn't want to become the stereotypical guy. I didn't want to get tall. I didn't want to get a deep voice. I didn't want to grow all this facial hair and all that other stuff. And thankfully for me, I am not a hairy person at all. So I kind of lucked out there. My voice didn't go as deep as a lot of people. So that's also something I kind of lucked out on, but I didn't luck out on the height. I'm tall. There's nothing I can do about it. I know, like, whenever I've talked to people who are like, oh, it's like, I'm sure everybody's experienced this where they go and you see family every once in a while, and every single time you visit, like, oh, look how tall you've gotten. Look how tall you've gotten. And also, whenever people notice that, like, it drove me nuts because I didn't want to be tall. I wanted to be short. I wanted to stay small. Until high school, I was under 5 feet tall. So it wasn't until then that I started growing a bit. So, but even after that, like even after I stopped, like every time I go visit, like people would just comment how tall I was, and I wanted to. I wish we could trade, Vua. I wish we could trade. I would gladly trade in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, bodies don't work that way, so it sucks. Anyway. Yeah, I wish I could shave off like a good 6 to 8 inches. But no, so I would intentionally like try slouching. I wouldn't go around and stand up. I'd stay sitting down because I didn't want people to notice. Kind of like when my voice started changing, I didn't want to talk because I didn't want people to hear my deeper voice because I didn't like it. So luckily, I didn't even have to start shaving till my junior year of high school. So again, there are a couple things that I got very fortunate on. But when that started coming in, and I remember the first time I bought a shaver, I've never used shaving cream or like an actual razor in my life ever. I've only used an electric razor, and not anymore because I've been doing electrolysis treatments the last like 8 months getting rid of everything. I never have to shave again, so it feels great. um, but when it first came in and started coming in, like again, I was like super depressed about it, and I didn't want people to see it or comment about it. So I never wanted anything to do with any of that. So that's why nobody has ever seen me with a beard or a mustache, because that's not me, obviously. Obviously, at this point. So this goes on and on. I hate it. And then probably around, end of high school time frame, that's when I kind of figured it out that, yeah, I'm a girl, basically. Um, but because of complicated situations, I've been keeping it under wraps. Though a number of times in the past 10, 15 years, I have set off the gaydar, so to speak, of a bunch of people who just sense something a little bit off. I don't know if anybody sensed that at all who's watching right now, but every time that happened, where they'd come in and they'd just be looking at me like, or whatever. It's like I was internally going, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. It's like I feel like I was gonna get like uncovered and all this, and people were gonna figure it out. So I did my best to try and and hide that. Maybe it didn't work, but if I did set that off, congratulations, you weren't wrong. Though I will say, I am not interested in guys. I am still very much interested in girls only. So sorry. Yeah. So yeah, that's yeah, egg. The egg dar, basically, person who's stuck in the egg hasn't hatched out yet. So yeah. But yeah, so even when I first met you in 2017, I was still trying to hide it then. So I didn't want anybody to know until I was comfortable doing so. But so I started figuring out or trying to come up with a plan, basically, to kind of like slowly ease into it, because you hide something for so long against so many people, where it feels like you're wearing a mask all the time. It wears on you. It just freaking wears on you. And I've had that mask on for 20 plus years at this point, so that's a lot of time. Don't do the math of how old I am. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of a relief, but this is still only an online thing, basically. I'll go into more on that later. Need another breather. So I feel bad, basically. I've been deceiving my friends for a while about who I am, so I apologize. Anytime like people came in, it's like, oh yeah, you're a white guy, you can do this or all that stuff. I'd generally be, and you probably noticed this, whenever that kind of topic came up, I was pretty silent on it. I kind of did a, I kind of just like acknowledged it and didn't really go into it. That's because I was like internally going, yeah, yeah, that's me, yeah, So I don't know if anybody noticed that either. So that's why. So like anytime that kind of thing came up, so I saw like the B-tube and stuff for a while, and you know, like before Hololive became a thing, I was like, oh, this is interesting. It's like I was immediately interested. I kind of feigned being disinterested and not knowing about it, because like, okay, this can actually help. Um, so I tried to come up with some convoluted plan to get this out without setting off too many red flags. And thankfully, my friend 520, who I've known forever, basically, kind of like joked and I was like, when are we getting like Phant VTuber? And I was like, and I used that as like the springboard to try and sell it, where we do that. And I initially put it out there as I'll get like a model done with like a male model and a female model, and there'd be a channel point prediction for going back and forth between the two. That's a lie. The male model was never going to happen ever. That was just a facade. It was only going to be this one ever. Um, I told the artist, we'll do this one first and everything, but I had no intention of ever making a male VTuber model. That was just for me to go out there and kind of basically test the waters, so to speak, see how people would react. Um, so I put it out there, kept the he him pronouns. I just wanted to not do that, and people were dicks. A lot of people, like whenever I was on GDQ, and still to this day, every time on GDQ, there's like three or four people that come in. It's like, what the hell is this person, and all that, and it sucks. When I did the Steam Next Fest broadcast, the comments were super bad. It just sucked. It's tough to ignore it all. So but the positive support more than makes up for it. So that's why I'm doing this. So yeah, I tried my best to no sell it. Like it didn't bother me, but it did. Even if you try to, just knowing it's all like internet trolls, it sucks. Yeah. And yeah, about that, Vula. So several times on stream during during charity events and other things, I always said like, I experienced this kind of stuff online when at the VTuber model showing, I experienced a little bit of the vitriol. But then I would always say like, but I don't have it that bad because at the end of the day, when the stream is over, I can turn this off. Um, I go back to being regular me, all that, and then I don't have to deal with it. But the truth of the matter is, I don't want to turn it off. So I really don't want to turn it off. So it killed me saying those things because it was directly against what I wanted to do. Yeah, I don't want to turn it off. Now, now I need to go get some tissues. So yeah, that was a big reason for doing the big charity stream with the Trevor Project is because I wish I knew about that um, when I was going through all that, and that's why I brought all those people on. Yeah, I really really wish I knew about this all, but I'm past that point, so best we can do is make things better for other people. Um, so I think the last thing I want to talk about is, why didn't I do this sooner? Given I've known this basically since I was 12, which is a long time. And the answer has to do with basically my family. Big surprise, I know. So, my family, my entire extended family are all incredibly religious. Like outside of my immediate family, who's like not really religious at all, but everybody else, all my cousins who are all local to where I'm at, are super religious. A lot of them are like very hardcore Mormons or hardcore into everything about Christianity and everything. I'm talking about people who went out. So California had this proposition a while back called Prop 8. So if you don't know what Prop 8 was, well, it was bad for gay marriage and gay rights. Really bad. And all my cousins went out and actively campaigned for it. They whenever I'm constant over at their places, they're constantly spilling out stuff like that, um, saying how I can't believe we're letting the gays get away with this, and just general hatred for that entire segment of the population. Um, and I know if they found out about this, it would be bad. I do not think I would be in danger. I do not think anybody would like come out and try and hurt me or anything like that. Not at all. Instead, they would probably all try to come over and convince me why I'm wrong, convince me while try and basically convert me back and do all this other stuff. And then outside of that, they would probably just say, I don't want you around my family ever again. Um, and that's tough. That's really tough. So basically, what I want to do before like I make everything like known to my family, so like my family doesn't know about this at all. Only one person I know, one of my cousins, ever watches the YouTube channel. So I will say, if you see this, please don't hate me. Please just understand. Um, I'm not a freak. This is just something normal. And no, you're some of my favorite cousins, so please, just please don't ignore me. So I hope you understand. So, but so over the last like 15 years, um, I've been trying to keep my family in check by preventing them from getting taken by Fox News and all the stuff. So like I'm constantly going in because a large amount of family watches Fox News. They regularly watch all of Tucker Carlson's stuff, all of Hannity's stuff, and we all know how those people are. They buy their books and everything. So it's been a lot of work to try and keep them from going too far off the deep end, and I've largely been successful. At least they may not like gay marriage and all that kind of stuff, but it no longer annoys them. Like gay people are okay. Like it's just like, oh, all right. Now, whether or not uh their own family member is that's a whole nother deal. It's like as long as other people are, it's like whatever. Um, but a couple other things of why it's so tough to let them know. I don't even know how I'm gonna let them know. I don't even know because at some point it's gonna have to come out. So I have no idea how I'm gonna do it. Um, a long time ago, again, when I was a kid, my cousin, who's also part of a religious family, was caught wearing one of his mom's dresses. So this is a cousin I have who has negative self esteem. Uh, can like it's difficult to talk to anybody. Probably has, I don't even know if he has Asperger's or not, or something, but socially has an incredibly tough time. And got caught wearing this. Maybe he's trans too. I don't know. Um, and the entire family completely ridiculed him and called him a freak. And we they still talk about that to this day. Um, and I'm just seeing this as like I know what shitstorm would come if I just went out and blurted it out. So I just got to be careful. And what I'm planning on doing is basically I need to be completely independent out of it before I do anything. So I'm trying to save up to get a condo or a small house, get everything moved there, and then once like I'm set and I don't have to be there every day, seeing all these people who are going to try and convince me I'm wrong, I can just drop it, and then I can go back to my own private place. That's when I see it. It's like within the next year, I want to buy a place, which I'm in California. It's very difficult. The real estate market is ridiculous, and but I need to get something. So um, I think my mom would be okay. My mom is really really nice. She'd probably be sad, but I think she would ultimately be okay. My sister is a capital R Republican and would never let me hear the end of it. She's currently about 8 feet behind me behind a wall while I'm dumping all this out. She may even be able to hear a little bit through the wall. I don't know. I guess we'll find out after this is done. Um, so she would be on me forever. Um, my brother is a very logical and reasonable person. He'd be confused at the start, but I think ultimately would be fine after a decently large adjustment period. And I don't think my dad would ever let me hear the end of it uh, either, so he'd probably be mad. Um, so I just want to make sure that I don't have to live in the same place as all that, because it's gonna be a long time if I want to actually bring them back to the to the realm of reasonable thinkers. Because like my whole family is like on paper like smart, intelligent people, but like they're just so far gone on the political spectrum that it's just hard to break through. And Fox is really good at that, at taking hold of people's emotions and then making them angry at things, and that's that's why. Um, yeah. So that's I'm gonna be saving up a lot for a condo, and it's probably gonna be a condo or something. Just need something. But yeah, one moment. Oh, that's always the hardest thing to say. Oh. I wasn't expecting it to be this hard. Really wasn't. I'm very thankful that I had developed a incredible group of friends who I know I can count on. They're just such wonderful people. So, thank you all so much. Couldn't do this without everybody's support. I mean that. Just knowing, I'm not alone. So, yeah, everybody, like, I'm not gonna be mad at people for messing it up. I'm gonna mess it up to myself. Um, just because I'm gonna be going alternating back and forth between it. But yeah. So I know since I'm in the U.S., the future head is gonna be quite expensive. Um, I don't even know how to even start with like surgeries and turbo treatment and all that other stuff. I honestly have no idea, zero idea how to get that going. I just know it's going to be expensive. So I'm gonna have to be saving up for all of that, and I'm probably gonna be relying on my friends to help me out there, because I don't I don't know. So, but I want to get that started. Um, yeah, come up with a new name. I have an idea, but not sure yet. Um, I probably wouldn't say it on stream either. So. But yeah, that's I think basically all I had to talk about. Um, so sorry for the. I know I did say this announcement wasn't something you probably expected. Yeah, Phant's gonna stay. Yeah, the underscore TV. Um, but yeah, I know this probably wasn't the announcement you're expecting, but this is exactly why I just randomly dropped it on GDQ a couple weeks ago, just to ease the expectations. So a whole bunch of people have known this for a couple weeks and saw it. But one more thing, my work situation is complicated as well. So I'm not going to be changing much as far as Twitter bios. That's monitored, because that's going to be a whole can of worms with that. I'm probably going to post this. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube, and I'll probably tweet it out on YouTube for the people who aren't here watching it. That's probably all I'm going to mention of it on Twitter. But if anybody asks or if anybody's curious, I encourage you to please share the video, because that will. I mean, after watching this, I'm sure people will understand. So I hope at least. But yeah, thank you all so much. I saw a lot of subs come in during this. I saw a lot of tips come in during this. I want that all to be taken care of, but yeah, I'm gonna need to rely on my friends to help me out on what to do next. So yeah, that's I think that's gonna be it. Actually, there's let's go do one more thing. Here, let's go back to the Zooter screen. Here, I'm gonna do this. I'll go over here. Up a little bit too big. Go back to the Zooter screen. Let's go do this. We're in Water Temple. We need to do that. Yeah. Now here's what we're gonna do. Gonna go to File 2. There we go. I think it's a perfect way to end the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for understanding. And yeah. Gonna stop the recording here.